Hi, welcome to Get a Clue Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game. And actually today we're going to look at 3 games. I need to give you a little bit of backstory about these 3 games. A few weeks ago, on one of my board game Facebook groups, someone showed some pictures from inside of their local game store, and they were showing us all these games that had been imported from Japan. And I looked and I'm here going, "Ah, they have that one, and they have that one, and they have that one." And you've got to understand, most of these, if not all of them, excuse me, I have a hair that's hanging down in front of my face. Anyway, all of these, most of these, if not all of these, are impossible to get in the United States. You can buy them from Japan and then have them imported, and that's just ridiculous. So I was like, okay, I gotta find out where this game store is. So I asked and found out and whatever, and researched Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm here like, oh, I've got cousins in Cincinnati. So I texted one of my cousins, who's just a week or two earlier, I had played a game with her husband and daughter at my mom's house. So I was here going, hey. And I just showed one picture that had these 3 games prominent in them. And I said, I actually pulled up a map, made a screenshot of the map of where the store was, so that, because I don't know exactly where in Cincinnati they live, but it's just like, if it's not too much trouble, could you, maybe get 1 to 3 of these, and yeah, any of these would be good. Yeah, the next, that weekend, they went to the store. My cousin, her husband, and her daughter went to the store and bought the 3 games and mailed them to me. I got them a week ago, and so now I am getting ready to give you a clue about these 3 practically impossible games to get here in the United States, and I'm so happy about them. So we're going to just do a quick CLUE about each one. Real quick ones. The first one, in fact, let me see if I want to go with, no, this is the most recent. So let's go with the oldest, one of the 2. 2 of them came out in 2019, and oh God, it's like if you watch more than one of my videos, you'll see me do this near the beginning. For some reason, my nose starts tickling when I talk. Anyway, let me try and get this one open while I'm talking. 2 of them came out in 2019, and one of them came out in 2022. So it's extremely recent. Anyway, all 3 of these had to be imported by that store to have them in their stock. So here goes. Let's get a clue. The first one is In Front of the Elevators. All 3 of them are Saashi and Saashi publishers. Just so you know, Saashi and Saashi is the publishers in Japan. And so this is called In Front of the Elevators. And it's plays 2 to 4 players. It's probably the easiest out of the 3 that I have. Let's get a clue, a C about the components. Inside, you'll get a little scoring pad. The instructions come in several languages. We have English, French, and Japanese, and Chinese. Okay, so you get the instructions in those 4 languages, and then the rest is cards. That's it. That's what's in this thing. And just so these are kind of like the player aids by each color, and then these are the kind of cards. So just so that you see. Okay. Yeah. Cards. Instructions and a score sheet, and a wobbly table. Okay, so those are the components. That's it. That's what's inside this box. Then L for length. The manufacturers say it takes about 15 minutes to play. It's a very quick game. It's a game of set collection. So for uniqueness, we know set collection. If you've grown up playing any card game at all, you know set collection. Rummy, you're creating sets of 3 or runs of 4. Those are all sets, set collection. Phase 10, it's all of these basic things like this are set collection games. So it's a set collection game. So uniqueness, it's that. E for ease, how easy to learn, teach, play. How easy is it to find? How easy is it on your pocketbook? You already know some of those answers. How easy is it to learn, teach, play? Like I said, this is the simplest of the 3 games. It comes in at a low complexity. It comes in as a light game, a 1.5. It's a light game. So it's very easy to learn, teach, play. How easy is it to find? Impossible. Unless you happen to go to the store that they went and picked up with Cincinnati Capstone Games or whatever. There is a publisher, Capstone Games. I wonder if they're affiliated. Don't know. I'm not that in the know. But anyway, yeah, you're in Cincinnati. Good luck finding these anywhere else. And how easy is it on your pocketbook? Not very. Because of the import, I'm sure. I mean, this is, in fact, let me pull it up. I took a picture of the price tags before I put them all, before I unwrapped them. The retail is $35, and Capstone was selling them for $28 for this. So that tells you, how much. Now my cousin's husband was very sweet. He signed up for their newsletter so they could get a discount, and so they did get a 10 or 15% discount on these games for me. Thank you very much. So anyway, in front of the elevators is the first game. The second game, well, I'm going to go with the other small one, even though it's the newest one. And it's called Before the Guests Arrive. And that's the picture there. Before the Guests Arrive. And again, we'll get a clue about it. And the components, you got the same languages. We got English, French, Japanese, and Chinese. And cards. Those are the components. The cards are a little bit more complex. The backs look like this. And the fronts, we have different people who can do different things. Are worth different things. They can pick up different things. Before the guests arrive, different people need to help clean up the house. That's the premise. It's considered, let's see, what kind, it's a, oh, sorry. Oh, I am so wrong. In front of the elevators, I was right with everything except the mechanism. That was a hand management area majority game. This is a set collection game. These people are collecting these items to help get the house clean and ready for when the company arrives, before the guests arrive. You're doing this. It is a little bit more involved than in front of the elevators. Again, I said it came out in 2022. L for length, it is, okay, this is the 15-minute game. I was really, I should have just done it in the order that I had it written. This is actually a 20 to 40-minute game. Okay, in front of the elevators is a 20 to 40-minute hand management area majority game. Before the guests arrive is actually a little bit higher in complexity, but is set collection and very short. This is the 15-minute one. The other one is 20 to 40 minutes. Okay, so before the guests arrive, you're collecting, you have these different characters, different members of the family collecting different items before the guests arrive. We know how that is. Then we have the other one, which is from 2019, and it's a bigger box. It's Remember Our Trip. Okay, Remember Our Trip. Oh, and the price for before the guests arrive was the same exact as in front of the elevators, and of course the complexity was a tiny bit. So uniqueness, set collection, ease, a little bit more involved. Even though set collection, I always think of as an easy aspect of gaming. But anyway, and easy to find, easy on a pocketbook, same exact price. But this one was different. This one is for 2 to 4 players. All of them have been for 2 to 4 players. And let's get a clue about this. First of all, I'm going to show you before I have already punched out everything. These were all the punch cards in this for this game. And then these are all heavy chipboard. These are floppy, fancy cardstock, but they punched out too. So recycling. So let me open the box, and there you have Remember Our Trip. And inside you'll find instructions in English and Japanese. And that's it, English and Japanese. So you have these two, and then you get all the things that I punched out. They're all in one big bag. They included this bag, but I have not played it yet, so I don't know if I'm going to be pulling out some of my bags and separating these to make setup easier, setup and gameplay easier, because I'm not sure what all they involve. Lots of bright colors and all a good solid cardstock. And then we have these wooden pieces. I'm sure the colored ones are the player pieces. I'm not sure what the big white column one is, but it's kind of, probably starting player, so you can keep track of who it is. There's stands. There's 2, 4, 6 little standy bases. So some amongst those cardstocks, there's got to be something to go into these little standy bases. And we have these few cards. Like I say, this game seems to be a little bit more involved. Has more pieces, but it has all of these different cards. They have different colors and on the back. Some of these, again, I haven't played it yet, so we're just getting a clue about the components. So I keep on, because there's still more. They've definitely filled up the, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to mess with that right now. Yeah. Then there's a bag. So I have a feeling that a lot of those little circular things might go in here for pulling out. That would be my guess. And if that's the case, then I would want to separate the things that do go in the bag with the things that don't go in the bag. That's just me. And then we have those light cardstock things are these. On one side they say Singapore On the other, they say Kyoto. And you're supposed to be able to play either remembering your trip to Singapore or remembering your trip to Kyoto. Uh, don't know, but there we go. Obviously, there's the four main colors, and then white, kind of. So those are there. And then I think these look like player boards because it's the four main colors. And let me see. You got four main colors. And this is the Kyoto side. This is the Singapore side. So apparently they are a little bit different for the two cities. And they're very thick cardstock. Really good quality. And then you have what looks like a scoring thing. This one, they both go up to 49/50. I guess you could use, and they're not labeled for either place in particular. So these are all the really heavy chipboard. Then we have the Singapore and the Kyoto sides. So obviously there's polyomino shaped pieces that are in that bag of chipboard things that I punched out. And then we have this board that is different on each side, and it has squares. And this has kind of like squares with circles in them, and it's different. But I think these are okay. There's four of these in the four colors. Okay, there we go. Four of these in the four colors. So these are player boards, obviously. And then this must be a master board or something. I don't know, because it's similar. It's just, but yeah, it's just similar to that, but it's a different color. It's like the pale color. And then there's this, which is this on one side and this on the other, and I'm still working on getting to know this game. And that is it. That's all that's in here, but it's pretty full. I mean, when you put all of this in here, I'm going to put it all in little by little. Got that. I want to put that in there. And then this can go here. I really need these things in this envelope. And okay, so those are all the components. That's the C in this game. Okay, then we put all this in here. The instructions. Okay, we'll put that aside now. We're still looking at remember our trip. Okay. L for length. They tell us that it takes about a half hour to play. So figure a half hour, 45 minutes, about that to play. Let's see, uniqueness. The the reason why this was one of the ones that I was really interested in is because it is a tile placement pattern building game. So I'm here like, yep, I usually like tile placing pattern building games. So let's try this one out. So those are the main mechanics. So uniqueness wise, tile placement and pattern building are thumbs up. There's a lot of games like that. In the mass market world, I think probably dominoes. You're laying down tiles and you're laying them down in a pattern. In the hobby world, one of the entry type games, entry level games, Quirkle, is something like that. So yeah, so that uniqueness, it's similar to a lot of games. And for easy to learn, teach, play, obviously with that many more components, it is on the, it's about 2/3, 3/4 of the way in the casual level. It's definitely a medium light. It's not a light game. It's a medium light game. The first two games were the in front of the elevators was a light game. Before the guests arrived was a medium light on the light side of it, and this is a medium light on the medium side of it. Okay, so it's the most complicated, but it's still clearly a casual level game. I don't know all the parts of it yet, but I don't see anything in it that will be, a medium game, let alone a heavy game. I just need to buckle down and figure it out, read the instructions, and learn it myself. But yes, it's not going to be something that you pull out and say, okay, let's play this. And no one has ever played it. Or, yeah, it's one that you need to learn how to play so that you can teach it properly to a group of people. So, yeah. How easy is it to find? How easy is it in your pocketbook? Well, you know how easy it is to find. Same as the other two. Not. It is not easy to find. And easy on the pocketbook, yeah, they have it down as retail is $60. Their price was $48, and then of course the discount for signing up for the newsletter. So yeah, that's the price. That's what it is. But you do get quite a bit in this box. It's a game. It's a full game. It's not something, it's not, Crazy Eights. It's not even Phase 10. It's a full-blown game. There's things to be learned and things to do and strategies to develop. So it's not a play it once and you're done type of game. So there you have it. 3 games. 3 imported from Japan games, just waiting for you to play, waiting for you to find it. These are, I will say, these are not easy to find, not easy to get. I was thrilled to be able to get them the way I did get them. And I want to thank Tom and Joy and Wilhelmina, Willie, for taking the trouble of going and getting them for me. I will thank you and play some games with you in June when we see each other again. Until then, until next time with you, until next time, happy gaming and God bless you and your family. Bye.